I'm going to connect a lot of stuff that Dave said, but first off, I actually want to start with, like you've heard a lot, and you've heard straight up from a place that's starting from where we're not at, right? Like we haven't been in prison our whole lives. We haven't come from a place that's been really, really tough. So we're starting at a place where it might be easier, but it honestly might be even harder for us to, gosh, this is hard stuff. Being accountable is hard, really, really, really hard. And I don't care if you came from jail or if you come from a great upbringing, being accountable is really hard. And the principles that he's telling us, like, truth matters a lot, but if you don't have love, it's just bullshit. Because then you're just mean. You've got to have both. And the only way that we have accountability here in our company is if we have both. Because if you're telling people that they're doing something wrong and you actually don't love them and care about them, you're just mean. And it doesn't work. But if you have both, it actually works. So I'm challenging you guys, I'm inviting you guys to actually start to care, to make the choice first, to go sit in that seat that he's talking about, and to actually have some of that drive to say, I'm going to do hard stuff. I'm going to try this accountability thing, and I'm going to get better at it. Because I don't care if you think you're good at it. We all suck at it in some way, because it's hard. But we can all get better at it. And that's the invitation, that's the challenge. And so as you think about this journey that we're taking off on right now, it's way more than just an employee-owned company. It's an invite to own your life. So turn right now to just pair up with somebody, doesn't matter. And if two doesn't work, you need a threesome somewhere, like great. But pair up, and I want you to take, and we're gonna go like 90 seconds and then switch. But I want you to tell the person that you're looking at, what am I nervous about and what am I excited about? So two pieces, right? Like what am I worried about? Like any kind of feelings you're having about this journey that we're going to take off, and then also share something that excites you about the journey. So why don't you pair it right now? I'll get my phone out. The fun part where I want a few people to share, and the cool part is if you share, we don't have to know whether it was yours or the other person's that was being shared. But let's hear some concerns first. Let's hear some, like, I'm not sure, it's like what came out from that part of the conversation.
How is it going to affect a relationship if you call somebody out on their garment?
Could it damage a relationship? Yep.
I think if you do it the right way, you can change it by asking permission to do it and asking, hey, can I give you some feedback? Well, that way, so.
Asking permission always helps. Yeah.
I think that'll answer a lot of questions about who we're working with, though, too. And whether or not they're invested. You know, if I'm invested in this and somebody comes to me with feedback, I need to be open to it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not open to it and I get offended by it, that's my own fault. It's my own choice.
Yeah.
And some people in the beginning aren't going to be strong enough to just go to somebody and give them that honest feedback. So there needs to be support, like your manager or other people you can talk with to get that feedback somewhere so that person can be helped.
You mean like we might step in it really bad if we don't get some help from somebody first and asking how to approach something we want to talk about? Yeah. Like I've done that, we've all done that. the beauty of this though is like we're on it together. You know, you can go talk to a manager, you can talk to a coworker, but if our goal, if our purpose, if our desire is to actually fix it and make it better, do we actually care? It's truth and love. Then there's going to be a path to get us to being able to get to a better place. What else came out? What other concerns or fears of heading down this path?
Something that I was thinking about is, you know, he brought up in his speech talking about how there's specific boundaries and there's specific consequences with their company and how they run things. You know, how do we know what is expected fully of us, you know, as employees as well as holding others accountable? You know, what are the lines as far as, you know, where we can go and what we can say and how to react? And because like they were saying, nothing's worse than trying to address a situation and it blows up.
You know, I think as human beings, our nature is you know, we don't accept our faults. And I think the first thing that we got to learn is, you know, evaluate ourselves and, you know, am I doing everything that I can do? Am I, you know, can I do better at this?
Yeah.
And if somebody, you know, makes a comment or something, we need to be willing to evaluate ourselves and say, you know what, he's probably got a point. and willing to change.
It's hard to do, right?
It is.
Yeah. It's hard to do. It's hard to accept that we have something we gotta work on, but the better we get at this, the better off we're gonna be, for sure. Okay, anybody else? A concern or fear?
Yeah, that, some people might take this as an opportunity to kick other people off the ladder. That's not what this is about.
Sure.
You know, it's not about, you know, making somebody else look bad so that you can do better and climb the ladder higher. It's about bringing everybody up that ladder with you. You know, as you go up the ladder, people below you, people above you, everybody goes up the ladder. It's not just for me, it's for everybody.
That's the truth and the love part, right?
Yes.
So, and if it's actually, did I lose power? I just have to talk louder. I think it's the other piece about power or truth, right? Because if we're doing it for our own selfish reasons, it's power, right? It's not. There's no truth anymore on that. All right, let's switch it up to what are you excited about? What are the things that you're looking forward to on this, taking off on this journey?
I gotta give Kevin more crap.
I'll let you guys know Chad's already really good at this. I'm looking forward to more. There was a hand back.
I was just saying that I think our relationships are gonna be stronger through this process.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
So I was gonna say stronger family too.
Stronger family.
Stronger
Yeah.
team, stronger
Yeah.
company.
I don't know, one thing I've always been excited about is definitely the opportunity for, good ideas to develop and flourish. That's something I'm super excited about with everybody here. I think it's great to not hit a dead end and get to a certain, just one person and they be the decision maker, as long as you've got everybody, the whole team is the decision maker now. And I think that's super important.
Awesome.
You know, back in, we're not talking new concepts here. In '98, when me and Shane came over with Steve and scraped carpet out of the building and painted floors and stuff to get things up and running, we came over because it was 200% then. Steve was with us, we was behind him, and it's never changed, at least not for us. There's always new people coming in, new faces and everything, but the concept's always been there, and we just need to keep it going.
Who else? What else are we excited about?
I think criticism and concern sound a lot alike. So I think we should be grateful for questions,
Yeah.
And like if people have issues or see something that we're doing that's not right or anything else, and we get questioned or anything, don't get offended, just
Yeah.
take it.
Dave, what do you call your groups?
Breakthrough groups.
Breakthrough groups. So once a week, do we get together already?
Twice a week.
Maybe twice a week, maybe more than that.
Well, you have your Monday meeting and you
Yeah,
have
have
your
your
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah, your lunch. I mean, we have a design breakthrough group, right? Like great place to practice and try this out, and to know the basis of why we're saying what we're saying, what the end goal of what we're trying to build together. So, what else? Need time for one or two more, and then we'll wrap up.
I hope people view it as more than just a job. I think that's the wrong way to view it, have pride in it, care about it. I know it is just a job, but it's more than just a job. You gotta love people, love the people.
I'm super excited about what this could be. I mean, think about 10 years from now, right? We're looking back on this day, all of us here. I mean, there shouldn't be any reason that one of us couldn't stand in front of another group like this and share what we did to build something exciting and amazing. And not that I want to be in the spotlight or anything, but these opportunities don't come around every lifetime, right? We have something amazing to build that we can look back on and just be proud of, and we could share it with our kids, with our family, with our community, and say, look at the good that we've done in the lives of so many people. So that's one of the things I'm doing.
Awesome. Darren.
I think opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, change is hard, but the rewards that come from it are worth it.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to piggyback on that.
Yep.
The personal growth that each of us stands to gain from this because of the group. You know, we all have room that we can grow in our own lives outside of this, in our relationships, in our marriages. To have the support of a group to help us, to call us out, you know, to hold us accountable when we're not holding ourselves accountable. Yeah, it's strong.
Yep.
One of the biggest challenges in this, from my point of view, is each and every one of us needs to have a relationship on that level that we can hold each other accountable, right?
Yep.
And so that's where the challenge is for all of us, is to make sure we're having that relationship and establishing
Yep.
that relationship so that this doesn't come across as negativity.
Yep.
This doesn't come across as trying to take your money.
Yep.
This is not argumentative, this is I care for you,
Yep.
and this is why. And if that other person is, you know, I want to know why you're doing this. I think we both have this opportunity to talk it out, and it's going to be awesome if we get to that point.
I think we can all agree that corporate America is sick, right? When you just look at the corporate greed, you look at corporate corruption across the country, why is that? Why does that permeate most corporations? Lack of accountability, lack of communication, lack of calling each other on their behaviors. As Kevin's stating, when you guys start to call each other on your behaviors in a respectful way, but however you decide to design those groups, you will become a better human being as a result of it. You'll have firm boundaries. People will know where you stand. People will know what you're going to allow in your life. When you have boundaries, people who were doing the wrong thing get away from you. People who were doing the right thing gravitate towards you. Who do you want in your life? We become better human beings. When you become a better human being, what happens to the company?
It becomes better.
It's so simple, but we are so conditioned and indoctrinated, and we have been for so long. Oh gosh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. If I can do it with a house full of ex-criminals and ex-drug addicts, we can hold each other accountable, so can anybody else. So can the police, so can Clegg. You will benefit from this. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And beware, for those of you who live by the compliment, you'll die by the criticism. That has to change.
We have to look at the criticism from each other as a gift. I learned this when I was doing outside sales. When I would visit with a customer and a customer gave me a complaint, that complaint was a gift. It gave me the opportunity to change. Yep.
Any last comment?
I think it's more about, love the people who work with. That it's not about calling people up and putting them out to tell them. You do that at home with your kids, with your family, you do that with your dog. You call them, so.
We love you, Johnny.
Chad, I love you, Chad.
It's okay though.
Laramie?
The one thing I'm going to say is just as much as criticism is important, and don't live by the compliment, but build each other up as well.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed a lot of is, if you're noticing someone go above and beyond, and you're noticing someone who's even struggling, that word of kindness, that word of love, whether it's a criticism or not, could be that key to getting them to that next step of what they need. Or that reminder of, hey, I am doing a good job, Because whether it's a choice, a mistake, or whatever, everyone screws up, but if all we're doing is focusing on criticizing each other, it's not going to have the effect we want. We want to make sure we're building each other as well as trying to help each other better ourselves.
Thank you. Very good point.
I just wanted to share that something like what Laramie just talked about happened to me very recently, and it was so overwhelming to me that I had to go home and share it with my wife. And what it was is just coming back from being injured, and it's the first time I saw Kevin, and I've known Kevin for almost 5 years, and Kevin knows how much I love him. And all the time, I've known him, we've shook hands, we've bumped knuckles, stuff like that. He's always been excited to see me, but the first moment he saw me, he gave me a hug. And I want you to know that that hug meant so much to me because it came from you. And it showed me what I've known all along about you, that you care more than anybody I've ever worked with in my entire life. And I'm old, people. I've worked for a lot of companies. I've worked for many, many bosses, and I've never worked for somebody that I've loved and cared as much for as Kevin, for what he is, who he is, and what he does. So let's give Kevin a hand because he's the one.
Cheer up enough on my own. I don't need someone to say something. So, that's rough. You guys, thank you for coming here. Like, you can see why this is the part I'm most excited about. Like, this is the part that is going to make a real difference if we embrace this. I love the fact that it was brought out that this is our work family, because we truly do spend more time with this family than we do with our other families. And so we should consider this our family, right? And so I'd invite you, just going back to the things that we've talked about, to expect more, right, of ourselves and each other. Let's give more because we can. Let's connect more, and let's live more. Like, we're supposed to enjoy life. And if we commit to be accountable to each other, and if we're real with each other, and we do it with truth and with love, then we're going to build something that's amazing. And it's not just the services that we offer in the jobs that we're in, but it's going to change us personally, it'll change our families. And we can take the stuff that we're building and we can share it with many, many, many more people. And that's super exciting, because that's why we're here. We should be here to have joy, to love what we do. And so I invite you to be on this journey. And if you're still concerned, to have lots of dialogue with the people around you. Because if you're only in it for yourself, the 100%, that's the power part. If you're in it 200%, that's the love part. And it's not going to work if you're only in it 100%. If you just want a job, then I'd invite you to go find someplace else to work. Not in a rude way, but it's not going to work, because it's got to be more than that. I invite you to love the job that you are doing, because that matters a lot. But then to also look at this as an opportunity to do more. And so what we're going to do, as far as, because I think it's cool to show a sense of commitment, and people don't have to do it till they know they're all in. But when you're all in and you're like, I want this, like, we're going to take our values that are written out, we're going to add in some additional language to that about more company and about 200%, and then I'd invite you to sign. And when you're ready to say I'm all in, like, sign your name. Like, show your commitment by signing, saying I'm all in. And if you're not ready to do it yet, it's fine. If it takes a week, a month, whatever. But at some point, you got to be in. And so I'd invite you to do that. The future is super bright. I'm super stoked about what we're building together. And I'm so glad I'm on the journey with all of you guys. So thank you.
Thank you.